Do you know how many like questions I got? Like people are like, you let him do this? And I was like, no, I didn't. Do not blame me for this. I didn't even know he was doing it. So like, they're like, oh my God, he should be resting. I'm like, I'm well aware.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 60 of the On the Runs podcast. I am virtual tonight, and my usual co-host is not here. So I brought in someone you're all very familiar with. I got Nicole Bryant in the studio tonight. What is going on, Nicole?
Thank you so much for having me.
You're the best fill-in co-host. I love doing, I was like, Erika, I want to do this podcast every week, but she's always on vacation, and she's traveling the world and doing things that I know you and I wish we could do.
Yeah, 100%.
She did something smart, though. She hasn't had any children. She gets to do these fun adventures and going on running marathons across the country.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, because Erika and I realized we did not talk about this on the last pod, she's in Colorado doing a little vacation, but she ran in a marathon over the weekend. She did the Revel Rockies, which, from what I understand, all the Revel races are downhill.
There's going to be one next May that they're doing up in the White Mountains here. I'm signed up for the half marathon.
I saw that. So it's going to be on the Kank.
Yes.
I noticed all their advertising photos for like previewing them and everything. It was all the fall foliage photos of the Kank, and it was the hairpin turn on the Kank. And so the funny thing is, though, I looked it up and I could be wrong, but they are not running in the fall. I know that's for sure. It's next May. They're also not running on the portion of the Kank that has the hairpin turn. They basically going from the top to Conway, which is a very steep beginning. Like you're going to...
Yeah. Your quads are going to be shot.
We're talking the first 6 miles of the marathon. I don't know if the half marathon starts at the top or halfway. Do you know?
I don't know. My guess is probably halfway. I'm running the half. I do know a couple people running the marathon.
So you already signed up?
Yes.
And what I know from looking at the map is like the last 2/3, it's still downhill, but it's not like that epic first third you're going to have.
Yeah. Have
you done a Revel race before?
No, I haven't. And I just know that this is not going to happen again.
Why? Wait, really?
So I really, they said like it was a once in a lifetime type of thing. So I was like, I want the medal and I want to say I did it because I just think that's so cool to say you did a race that's probably never going to happen again. So me and a bunch of friends are all signed up to go in May next year.
I think I might know some people who are looking to get into the race directing business that could maybe do it again. I don't know. Just thinking out loud.
I would be interested in that too. So.
I do know. Okay, you know what? That rings a bell. Erika signed up for Flying Pig, which is in Cincinnati. It's like the Flying Pig with cheese. Yep. So I think she does a 1 mile, a 5K, a 10K, and a marathon. There might have been an 8 miler in there, or that might have been Philly. But it's the same weekend. I remember this now. It's the same weekend. Yeah,
Philly has the that challenge. It's like the Liberty Challenge or something.
What was it? It was the half marathon and an 8K. It was an 8K.
8K half full, because it's almost like the Disney races. Right. They just kind of keep going up each day.
So Disney does the Dopey, which is a 5K, 10K, half marathon.
Gold.
They also got other ones. They got like this Disney Princess one that's in February or March. And
I've done that.
You have? You ran? Okay, so tell me about Disney real quick. Tell me about Run Disney races.
I love Disney races. A lot of people don't like them because you have to get up super early, and you do. You're up at like 3 a.m. because you've got to be there.
But that's your jam.
It is, right? See? Works perfectly for me. I really like them. They're very crowded. They're very expensive. But I think if you make it a whole experience, it's worth it. It was a lot of fun because you get to like stop along the course and take pictures with a lot of the characters. And I thought that was super fun. So you can make it an experience. I wouldn't go to like PR or anything like that because I just think they're way too crowded. You're talking like Boston Marathon crowded. Like it's just very, very, very condensed. But I really like them. I think they're a lot of fun. I would love to go do the Dopey. They used to have a Star Wars 10 miler And I don't think they have it anymore, but I'm a little upset that I never got that
Maybe they'll
medal,
bring it back.
because that would have been a lot
Or maybe
of fun.
again, just
That'd be great.
find someone who directs races and tell them to do a Star Wars race.
I do. Everyone dress up like a stormtrooper and start running down Elm Street. I think that would be great.
Right. We could totally do that. We can pull that off, the Stormtrooper Mile.
Oh, I'm going to make a note. That's
Trademark
great.
it right
That's
now.
a great idea. We just do the Imperial March music all throughout it.
Oh, that would be great.
Right?
Are you like a Star Wars fanatic? It's like you said with Disney. Some people love it, some people hate it. Star Wars, love, hate.
I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Did you see? Okay, you're also a huge Top Gun fan. Did you see the reel I made with Jenny? Because Jenny picked the Top Gun theme song for her song last week.
Oh, I didn't. I must have missed that one.
Okay, well, I just posted it yesterday. Okay.
Oh,
so Jenny picked
okay.
the song, the Top Gun theme song. I got to talk to Erika more about this, but like when you watch it, you have to watch it 4 times. One time for my reaction, and it's my reaction right when she says Top Gun, and it's not the yes I yell, it's the eye shift and the head shift, like my realization that she loves Top Gun. And this ongoing battle of Top Gun between me and Erika continues. You got to watch it for Erika's reaction when she realizes right away she has been defeated, and she's just like,
Aw.
that's his jam. And you got to watch it for Jenny's, her whole body language right before she says it. She's like prepping us. Listen, this is my song. Don't judge me. And look at her eyes. And she pauses right before she says it. It was perfect. And then you watch it the 4th time, put it all together.
Love that. I can do that.
One of my all-time favorite reels. I'm not going to tell you the rest about the reel. I want you to go watch it because I did a little.
Okay.
I've been getting good at this editing. This reel edit, I'm figuring out. It's a lot for a 37-year-old.
I love that. That's great.
A lot of YouTube videos, how to do this, how to do that.
Yeah, I'm 37. It's still a lot of work to like figure out like Canva. That's a new thing I'm trying out. And I'm like, This is phenomenal.
Yep. It's I'm learning something every day. I love it. So, but you are also here. You're my awesome fill-in co-host for the episode because our interview is you and Ron again. We brought Ron back because when you filled in last time Erika went on vacation, we had Ron and we did an interview with you and Ron. It was kind of you and me interviewing him about your run coaching journey and his training for the marathon. We talked a lot about his TikTok and how sometimes you got to slow down to go faster and don't tell my coach. Well, we're like, we need to bring him back for 2 reasons. One, so Erika can really meet him and talk to him. So you're going to hear, for those of you who are bummed that Erika's not here, you're going to hear her for about the next hour or so talking to Ron. And also to hear how the race went. And it was a doozy, right?
Yeah, it was hot. Very unexpected.
So let's get to that. And then let's talk about what's up for you because you're training for your first triathlon.
I am.
Guys, enjoy this interview with Ron Kuszmar, Nicole Bryant, and our amazing co-host, Erika Hamill. Our next guest on the pod, we heard from back on episode 47, that was perfectly titled, Don't Tell My Coach, when he joined us to tell us about his training with Coach Nicole and his TikTok stories as he trained for the Providence Marathon. He's now back to tell us all about the race. He's going to tell us if the coaching actually worked. And last time, Erika missed out on the interview, so we had to bring him back for many reasons. Ron Kuszmar, welcome back to the On the Runs podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Some things have not changed, though. We still don't tell her everything, so it's fine.
We don't, and it's the best.
Well, I have to say I'm very happy to be a part of this this trio this time because I had to listen to the last episode like everybody else. But now I get to be a part of it. So.
Happy to have you back. And I would say
you.
Nicole eventually finds out. We just don't tell her initially. That would be.
That's true.
That's just like with anything, right? Everybody finds out everything.
Yeah, but
there are no secrets.
But we don't try to keep it a secret for that much longer. We just, we tell you after. So, first question I have for Ron. Ron, in the last podcast, we talked about a beer glass at 5K, 10K, half marathon, and you would look at it and you treated it like the Stanley Cup. You wouldn't touch it or even do anything until after you earned it. I think you earned that glass. Did you get it?
I sure did, and I did use it. And I sent her a picture that night I was using it. That was, I think that was the next night or that. I don't even remember. Dude, the whole thing's still a blur. Like, but I did. I was like, oh, I get to use my glass. I was so excited.
Well, you definitely needed to rehydrate after that marathon, huh?
Oh, that was brutal. The heat was tough.
The other guest we have on the podcast is your coach, Miss Nicole. Nicole, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We are doing just fine. I just got some very exciting news, but I don't think we're ready to officially share it on the podcast.
No, we're not ready to share it on the podcast. Luckily, Ron and Nicole are very lucky.
They got the inside scoop.
Yeah, they got the inside scoop. But yeah, we just saw both of you the other day at the TI-10.
Ron's really good at not telling me things, so it's okay.
The one we'll have to find out here is how good are you at keeping secrets?
From me, excellent. Probably not from other people, because everybody knew he was running on Saturday. And I found out the night before, and everyone's like, what do you mean? He told me 2 weeks he was coming. And I was like, what the hell?
I mean, he told us months before on Instagram,
I have to say, when did you tell me, Ron? Maybe a couple days before? You're like, I think I'm feeling good. So I only knew a little bit ahead of time.
He's like, I think I'm going to go do the 10 mile. I was like, dude, choose the 10K if you're going to run. And then I was like, just take it easy. Nope. But dude busts out like 7:45 average. I'm like, okay.
So is the coaching working?
In fairness,
Clearly.
Erika didn't give me an option. She signed. She was like, "Oh, fill in this, sign this." Okay, you're doing the 10 miler. Like there was no option given.
Yeah,
you're doing the 10 miler.
That was my fault. Yeah.
When did you actually sign up for the 10 miler? Since we're on this topic,
It was race day.
That morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, but he decided he wanted to run ahead of time.
Because I was
So,
like,
a couple
Nicole,
days
I'm
maybe.
pretty sure he signed up Thursday because Friday there was no more online registration. It makes sense now because he just.
It does make sense now, because then you told me that, Eric, and I was like, if he lied to me.
I had every intention of doing that. And I never signed up because I didn't know how my legs were going to feel. So I didn't want to sign up and then not be able to go because I felt like garbage.
Right.
Smart move.
Right.
It was a smart move. But I have to say, it was really nice to see you both. I got to officially meet Ron in person at the race. I got to see Nicole and your son, who is absolutely adorable. And I don't know if you were around for like most of the race, but I did throw in Return of the Mac in my race playlist. So it might have shown up when you were,
Oh, I
when you
missed
were around.
that. I was trying to get over to Eric, and I couldn't get over there because all the roads were
They
blocked.
blocked, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'll play it again for you later.
Just
Thank
just
you.
go through the roadblocks like I did because there was plenty of roadblocks that I had to like break through.
Apparently, all you have to do is yell, "I'm a volunteer," and
Yeah.
they let you through.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we learned something.
Next time I know for Manchester PD.
Yeah. Oh, it's Manchester PD. They're great. Thank you, Manchester PD.
No, they were great. They really were great.
Well, Ron, the reason why you're like, I had the intentions of running the TI-10 miler the entire time, but you're going to wait to see how your legs feel. That's because the week before you ran your first marathon in Providence, Rhode Island. And that's what all the lead up was to the TikToks and the coaching, the interview we had you on before. Last time we spoke, you had about, I don't know, maybe 2 months to go. How was the next 2 months of training?
It was good. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was, it's a lot of work, right? I mean, I was telling people that like train those last couple of weeks, especially the last 2 months, right? That's where it really starts to pick up. The runs start getting longer and you start looking, even some of the weekday runs. I was like, I gotta do 9 miles on a Monday. Like, what is going on? Like, even some of those got long. And it's just like, this is literally a part-time job. This is another like part-time gig in order to figure this out. So it's a lot. It is a lot of work. Anyone who questions that, it is a lot of hard work and commitment.
Why did he have a 9 mile run on a Monday?
Because she's horrible.
Tell us
You're
how you
welcome.
really feel, Ron.
I know. Guess the training didn't work.
How, Nicole, in your mind, how was Ron doing during the entire training process?
In all honesty, he did so great. And I agree with him on marathon training is a commitment. It is a serious commitment. And he is one hell of a stubborn man. So there was no way that he wasn't going to do anything. If I wrote it down, I'll give him for like probably 90% of it he did listen to. The only thing was the whole slowing down with the runs, but he did the miles. And, yeah, there's days where you have to do 9 miles on a Monday or a Tuesday and it picks up. But he was very committed, very disciplined through everything, listened to his body. I think there was a couple of days where he had a little bit of like a tightness in his knee or something. And so, he texted me and we gave him a couple extra rest days and he was good to go. So, but he did a very great job with the training.
That's awesome. And that's a super important thing to do. Even though you were the don't tell my coach, sometimes you have to cave and be honest with your coach and say, hey, I need these extra rest days. I'm not feeling 100%. So kudos to you for being honest. I mean, I really enjoyed following those TikToks too, because you were honest. You showed us what it was really like to run all those miles.
Honest and funny.
Yes. It was definitely entertaining to follow your journey. So thank you for sharing with everybody.
Oh boy.
No worries. And that was the whole thing. So, right. I mean, for me, posting it was to help keep myself accountable. But then it was like, man, if I can post this entire 16-week journey and show somebody else what this is really all about, and still, for me, the videos really helped keep it fun and engaging. And it took a lot of the seriousness out of the workouts and allowed me to, yes, put the work in. Yes, put in the miles. That's the big thing, right? Putting in the miles, but it allowed me to have fun with it. And so most of those videos are, each mile, it's a 5-second clip, right? Some of them are a little longer, but they're 5 seconds. That 5 seconds took minutes off of every mile, right? Because then you're thinking about it. You're like, okay, I got to do this. Or you think about what you just said and you're like, was that good enough? That was kind of funny. Should I redo it? No, it's fine. I'll leave it. And then you're laughing because you're like, that was a really funny joke. I'm pretty funny. And then next thing you know, 3 more minutes have gone by and you're another half mile in. You're like, okay. So it really helped just kind of break everything up. And then I couldn't stop. So then I keep doing it at all the races. And then people just laugh at me and think I'm funny out on the course. Because
I have that question coming up.
Yeah. So that's really good. You get the self accountability because you want to continue the journey and have people following you and appreciate your jokes. And yeah, it's just another way to stick to it.
I want to say, I understand when you think you're funny, because there's a lot of times I'm like, oh, I'm going to do something that's going to be really funny. And I record it and I'm laughing at myself. And then when I put it out there and I'm like, damn, this one's only got like 400 views. And then I do something that took no effort or anything. I'm just like, oh, just going to pop this video up of Erika doing her run or whatever, and then boom, 10,000 views. I'm like, what gives? I thought that was hilarious. And sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't.
Yep. But I got to tell you though, all the potential planning and effort you start to put into it while you're in the middle of a workout and you pull out your phone to all of a sudden record, it goes away. It just floats into the ether, and whatever comes out of your mouth is what comes out. It's never what I planned on. I'm like, what the hell was that?
That's like me with this podcast. I'll be like thinking, I'm like, oh, this is a really good thing to say. And then I'll be like, little birds flying away.
And then she'll be like, no, I don't like that.
Yep.
I'm going to start over. Can you edit that one out?
Yeah, honestly. That's most
she'll
of
be
it.
like, oh, I don't like that one either. And thank
you
God
guys will find out, I'm sure. I'll
Thank God
screw
for
this up.
editing.
Yeah.
So, Providence Marathon weekend.
Yep.
I know Nicole went and ran the half, and Nicole, you went with Justine and Jay. But when did you go up there, Ron?
So we went up on Saturday as well. I left Saturday. Yeah, we left Saturday around lunchtime. Went up, my wife and I, or down. I guess it was right. It's down because we're here. It's there.
It is down.
So yeah, we went down Saturday afternoon. Got in. Got to the hotel. Got checked in. Just tried to relax and just sort of take it easy and try and like not think about everything going on. And then went out to dinner and then went back and went to bed early and just like tried to get myself ready for the next day.
How are your nerves doing?
That was the weirdest thing is I actually was super nervous that day. Like I'm usually not like, I've never been like that crazy. I usually don't get nervous before like a race because up until that, I hadn't really taken anything seriously, right? Like everything was, I'm just going to go out and do this and whatever. Yeah. I'm just going to go out and have fun. I'm just going to go do this. And that one was like, that was serious because it was like, this is happening. You know, it's like everything the last 16 weeks and we're here.
Yeah.
Like, so it was a lot, you know, so it was just like a million things going through my head. So it was a lot.
How did you prep the night before? Like, what was your pre-race meal? Did you get enough sleep? Give us the details.
Yeah. So we went out.
Nicole laughs.
We had, I had pasta and chicken. So I was like, all right, well, I'll try and do like
classic,
the
yeah.
standard.
Right, yeah,
I was
the
like, all
classics.
right. I don't know what I'm
Told you to
doing.
do.
So I'm just like, this is what everyone else is doing. So it must be the right
Did
thing
it
to
work
do.
for you though?
I don't know, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it was all
Well,
right.
no Code Browns,
I don't
or
know.
is that for later?
No.
Good,
Good there.
good.
That was a serious fear of mine, though. I won't lie to you. Like that was something I was
Probably our fault.
definitely worried about.
We had
So-
someone,
but I did.
we had someone write a really nice review about us, and then they ended it with, "However, listening might give you the fear of having a Code Brown one day."
Yeah, 100%. So that was a real thing, you know. So I was worried about that, but so I only had one beer at dinner, just to.
You had a
kinda
beer?
calm
Well,
my
actually,
nerves.
I have beer.
Yeah, I
on
ran really
before
well with beer
race day.
too. That's
Yeah,
I've done
We've
that.
heard that story.
Nicole,
enough.
not Nicole, Amanda, pizza and
Yeah,
beer.
Amanda pizza and beer.
Yeah, I had 5 the day before my 20-mile run, before my 20-mile training run.
What kind
See?
of beer?
That's what you do.
I was
You
playing.
tracked it.
I was at a
Before
family event
your
and I was
run.
playing cornhole, and we were just having a good old time, and got
As
up
long
the next
as
morning
you
and ran
practice
20
it,
miles.
Ron, you're fine.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Right. Totally fine. Totally fine. But
And
no,
he told me that because I biked with him for his 20 miler.
Oh, that was the one
Yep.
Oh my god.
You were trying to get me to
Yeah,
do
they-
it.
you bailed
he-
on that
He
one.
blew us
No.
off. It's fine.
Yeah, he
I was
totally did.
supposed to go out running with you, and you blew me
Oh
off.
no, I changed the route because I was gonna.
So then you blew us off?
No.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I politely declined your offer, Nicole and Ron, because I said I would go out there and run the 10-miler with you or
Yeah,
the 10K
but I
to
couldn't
map it
start
out.
it when you needed me to, right, or something.
I don't think that was the
I don't
case.
even remember.
You bailed because Rachel or something, and you went running with Rachel. Still bright and early in the morning.
Yeah.
You
But you
bailed.
didn't want to go.
and then
no,
I-
you had stuff to do.
I ended up doing nothing.
Yeah.
I could have
Oh,
gone
you spent
on a.
money at BJ's.
Oh, that's right. I spent $600
Oh, that-
You
yeah.
blamed
BJ's.
that on me. So
It was her
Yeah,
fault.
yeah, I do remember that.
And I
Yeah.
could have gone on
Yeah.
a bike ride with Nicole alongside Ron running. 20
Yeah, you
miles.
could have, but you
you had
didn't.
options, so you can't
Yep.
blame it
Yeah,
on me then.
but you know,
You
he just
bailed
blew us
on
off.
me
It's fine.
late Friday.
I didn't bail.
You did too.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, you did.
Nuh-uh. We talked about this now.
We're gonna rewind the tape.
We have the
Rewind
same
the
like
tape.
banter that you two have. You need to put us. in
Erika
timeout.
goes to me before you two jumped on. Like she goes, the two of you.
Oh, you guys crack me up. I love it. Like,
You should see the text. It's even. It's
well, I
even
was
better.
just like in that one little comment section of I think it was Ron's Instagram post. I was
Okay.
Like,
Can we just? You know what, Eric? That was so unfair.
I
Saying you're pacing somebody
actually-
versus pacing off of somebody is a two very different statements.
I
Thank
actually
you, Erica.
I have some
It is
questions.
Literally
not
the
the
same
same
thing.
thing.
It's literally the same thing.
It's not.
Literally.
I have
It's
some
literally the same
questions.
thing.
I'm going to put a poll on Instagram, and I am
Do it.
going to poll everybody and ask the question.
Tag us.
How is it different?
I do
How
think
is
they're
it
different. Let me see if I can articulate this. So, if you
Thank
are
you.
pacing someone, the person you are pacing wants to run a certain pace, and the person who is pacing them is running that pace to help that person. If you are pacing off of someone, the person like is running whatever they want, and that other person is trying to like keep up with them. Right? Is that kind of how it works? But they are very
Except I had no
different.
problem keeping up, so it was fine.
Well, I mean, that's
So therefore,
You did at the
not
end
to
when I
mention,
beat you.
no, wait. I
Ah,
passed
she's
you
got
at
you
every
on that.
water station. At every aid station, I would pass you, and then
Good for you.
like you would all of a sudden be like,
So because
I have
I
to be in
stopped
front of
and then
this
I could-
person. I
and
have
then I
to be in
could
front
catch
of
up
this
to you?
person, and then you like a little bunny. I got to get in front of him.
So
I love
what
this.
happened.
I love it.
But bunnies are super cute. Thank you so much for the compliment.
I will second the bunny
They're-
comment.
bunnies
I go
are
on-
short, too.
I go on bunny walks.
They are.
Hey, bunnies. Come on, man.
I don't know.
Anyways,
So I want to go back to my comment when I was brought into this conversation on Instagram. Who was following who? I want to know because from
He
my
was following me.
he was following you, and who passed who at the finish line?
I passed him at the finish line.
Because I was in front of her prior.
So then I stand by my
a good
original
photo of it, too.
comment. If
That she
Ron was
drafted.
ahead of Nicole,
I
Ron
can't
was
draft
pacing
off anybody.
Nicole, and Ron was providing a draft so Nicole could conserve energy and slingshot by Ricky.
So you're
Bobby
going to
style,
negate
shake
the
and bake
running and the
at the finish
8-minute
line.
PR that I got that day? That's what this conversation just turned into? Okay.
Slingshot engaged.
I do recall Nicole kicked ass that day. Weren't you second
I did.
female overall? Like,
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
I was in front of him most of the time. How do you draft off of somebody that you're in front of?
Well, you just
I'm
said
sorry,
that
what-
you were
how was that last
behind
mile?
him.
The mile that really matters.
Yeah, you said you were behind
How
him.
does that
and
mile
you-
really matter? I ran 12 in front of you, and then you ran that, and then I passed you. You're just bitter about it. It's okay.
I'm trying,
still think
Nicole.
you're
I'm
awesome,
trying.
Ron.
I'm
It's
trying
okay.
so hard.
You're trying because there's no way of proving it. Ron and I are right.
The picture
right.
showed
Shake
it.
and bake.
Her in front.
Shake and
Shake
bake.
and bake, baby.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, you weren't listening, but you slingshotted by like Ricky Bobby. So shake and bake, baby.
That's right.
You had the kick, man.
Ron knew because Ron did the whole
guys are
slingshot engaged.
Slingshot engaged.
This is
You're
great.
not first, you're last.
Battle of the sexes here. Back to Providence.
Back all the way
Got
back.
wicked off
Back to
topic.
Providence in the DeLorean here. All right.
Yep.
So, Nicole, what were you doing before the race? Pre-race meal? Were you drinking with the girls? Were you hanging out with Ron? What was your we're talking the
No.
night before. Yeah, no, you're like, I wouldn't hang out with that guy.
She's had enough of him.
Right? No, we stayed at an Airbnb. So Justine and I went for like a 2-mile shakeout run,
Motion
and
is
then
lotion.
we went into town and we went to an Italian restaurant, and I think I had chicken and potatoes, and then we went to bed super early. I don't think I slept very well. I never do before a race.
Me either.
So
That's always the hardest part, trying to actually get some sleep.
yeah,
What's the wake up
Exactly.
call? What time you wake up?
I'm usually awake early anyway, but I think we were up at like 5.
Ron, how about you, bud?
5:30 was the plan. It was closer to 5:45 or 5:50, which was late, and that pushed me behind.
What was the race time?
7:30.
Oh.
And how
Yeah,
far
for
were you?
him.
Your hotel and your Airbnb? How far were you to the race location? Could you walk? Did you need to drive?
I was at the Renaissance, so I just had to walk like 200 yards.
Ooh, the Renaissance.
Nice.
He was at the Renaissance.
I try to do that if I can to be as close because I always feel bad. If I have to travel for a race, I usually go with Brandon, and I don't want to wake him up to make him drive, and I don't want to take the car in case he needs it, and so I try to logistically.
Yeah,
plan it out
Nicole,
that way.
we'll do that when we do Ironman Mount Tremblant. We'll stay in the village
Let me get through July 1st.
baby steps. Come on.
2 years from now.
I'm
2 years
very
from now.
excited about my triathlon.
Yes, I can't wait for you.
I still have the date saved. I will go cheer. I'm so excited.
All right.
I'm not committing to one myself, but I will go Sherpa if you
We'll
guys
get
need
there.
me.
We'll get to that later. What? So I forget. What was the weather like this day?
What on? Oh, for the half?
Race day?
Oh, it was terrible.
Hot as balls,
Do
man.
tell.
It was hot as hell.
Oh, that's
Erika-
right.
Erika ran that day,
I
too.
thought you were going to say cold and windy and hail. No, it was hot.
I would have
God,
preferred
I
yesterday's
wish.
weather for last weekend.
Well,
Yesterday's weather
100%.
would have been perfect for last
Yep.
weekend.
It was.
And it was just, the half started at 8:00, and it was just already, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I think when we started, it was 65, almost
Yeah.
7. Like it was hot.
Yep.
So it was just,
Yep.
I cramped the entire way. Everybody, there were people, I think somebody died on the course actually.
Whoa.
It was like
and
a
a half.
Yeah, the
And a
half
half.
marathon. I think he was like at mile 11 or 12, and he was like 27,
Mhm.
37, something
He
like
was
that.
young.
Like, yeah, he was
Whoa.
a young guy.
Heat stroke is
Yeah.
no joke.
It's no
No
joke.
joke.
People were being, I've never seen so many people being taken out on stretchers during a race.
So
It
many
was
people. The last
crazy.
mile was
Yep.
it was the amount of like medics and stretchers and just people, like, because there weren't enough medics. Like it
Yeah.
was just
Wow.
Was that going through your heads
Crazy.
before the race? Like it is way too hot right now.
no, not before.
No.
I didn't
it
know
was-
any better.
Right. And you're not equipped yet because we haven't been training in the summer. We've been training in 30, 40 degrees snow. We're covered up.
Mhm.
And now you've got to, I mean, I brought throwaway gloves and a throwaway sweatshirt. And I'm like, I don't need this at all. So it was just wild.
Yep.
So you guys had a different start time between the two of you. So did you guys hook up before the race? Like, were you able to give each other like good luck wishes or any like helpful tips at the end or at the beginning, I should say, before they started? Anything like that?
Yep, we met up beforehand, probably right where the registration tents were in the park.
Yep.
Oh, were you
So,
there
you know.
early for Justine? Because she ran the full too, right?
She ran the full. Yep.
Yep. We were in
Yep.
the same corral, so it worked out for me because I put myself with her because I was like, at least it's someone I somewhat know. Like it's a person that
Her wife.
so
Familiar.
Yes.
and she wanted to run the same pace that I did. So I was like, this is great. Like this is perfect. Like awesome. Like someone else. Great. But yeah, it was tough. That whole morning was tough for me, man. Like that morning was I got up late and then I went to go to Dunkin' Donuts so I could get my coffee, and it took the valet forever to get my car. And then that took even longer because you have to valet at that hotel. You don't have a choice. So then like by the time I got back, and then, you know, the coffee did what it's supposed to do
Good.
and, you know, took care of that so that we were not having any issues on the race. And, you know, so then by the time we got down there, I was freaking out just because there's a million people and there's this whole new thing and I'm freaking out. And I realized my phone was at 58%. So I was like, oh no, why is my phone at 58%? This is not okay.
Uh-oh.
Like, what happened? I need this. So I threw my battery on and charged it for like the 45 minutes while I still had Jen there with me and like was like just charged my phone and everything was fine. And then we were with Nicole and Justine and then they left and I was with Jen and everything was fine. And it was like, all right, I need to go do a quick little run. Like I stretched. I was like, I'll go do a quick little shakeout. So just went and did a quick little thing. I was like, I'm running out of time. I just got to go. I gotta go do this. So I went and did that, came back to her and I was going to give her my battery from my phone and give her everything else and be like, you take all of this and I'm going to go. And then at that exact moment, my watch flashed and went off 10% battery life. And I looked down and I was like,
That's like a runner's
And I
worst nightmare.
I lost it. I lost it right there. And Jen looks at me. She goes, are you crying right now? And I was like, yes.
Oh, no.
I was like, you don't understand. Like at that exact moment, it was sheer panic. I was like, this is my life while I'm out on the course.
Garmin
Like,
or
my
it didn't
watch is
happen.
my watch is my life. Like it tells me how fast I'm going. It gives me my heart rate. Like it gives me everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to like collect myself and figure my life out with 10 minutes before the race.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still like trying to figure out what to do. I'm like, can I charge it? No, I can't do that. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So it took me a minute to realize that the app is on my phone. I can run the app on my phone because I'm taking my phone because I'm recording every mile.
That's right.
Okay. So I have my phone. I was like, so, all right, what am I going to be missing? I was like, I'll get my times. I'll get my elevations. I was like, I literally just won't have heart rate. I was like, okay, I can live with that. Like, I'm going to have to. I don't have a choice.
Right.
But it's better than nothing. So it was like 8 minutes left at this point before the race. And I'm like, okay. So at least I had it figured out. I had a plan that was going to get me through the race. And then at that point, that was where I left Jen. And I was like, all right, I got to go get to this corral and go figure things out. And then I saw Justine at the back of the 330 pack, which is where I wanted to be anyway. So I was like, cool, this is a good spot. Like, this is where I want to be. So great. Like, and then I kind of calmed myself down. And then they started talking and going through the anthem. And I started like, I threw the noise canceling in my earbuds because I was like, I just need to zone out for like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, this is a lot. There's a lot of people. And this is just like a lot. And this is very different than all of the small little community races that I've done in the past. And this is a very different feel now. And I'm just like trying to make sure that while I can take it all in at the same time, I was like, I need to focus on myself for at least a minute here. So I'm ready to go. And then the gun went off and off we went.
Zen. You needed that Zen
Yeah.
moment. Mm-hmm.
I completely changed up my playlist 2 days before too. I completely just like threw my playlist out the window and said, I knew it was going to be warm. So I was like, I want like a high energy playlist. I want something to push me through. If I'm going to hit this 330 goal, I need something. So I ended up just putting like a high energy playlist on and to just push me through.
Give us an example of a couple of songs you had on there. What's high energy for you?
So like it was actually just a Spotify like high energy workout
Oh,
playlist.
so
there was
okay,
like a
pre-made.
Yeah. So
Good.
pre-made. So that was which was good. But there were a couple songs on there that like I already knew, and a bunch of them. There were a bunch of stuff that was remixes and stuff, which was good. So they were
That's cool.
just like stuff I'm already familiar with and know, but higher beat.
Nice.
So like, you know what? One of those songs though that just like gets you like it puts you in a good mood, but at the same time makes you like stop and think for 2 seconds. Is Andy Grammer? Damn, it feels good to be me. I was like, yes. So that was in there at like a remix version, and it was just awesome. And I'm out there on the course, like doing my thing, just like
Were you
grooving out
actually
there.
dancing?
I totally was.
Oh,
I was
awesome.
singing away at certain times. I'm like out there just grooving, doing my thing. I like it was warm, but the heat didn't start to get to me until like mile 9-ish, mile 10-ish. It was about when the heat started to bug me. So I was feeling great. I was like right on my pace. Everything was moving and grooving. My watch officially died at mile 7. No more time. Like, so up until like, if you watch the video, I gave out my mile times until mile 7, and then like, no more watch. So like, no idea. No idea. So mile 8, I'm just like, mile 8, watch died. I don't know. I don't know.
That would be some hits.
Right.
So, you know, so I just had to do whatever. And so it's like, I didn't really realize where I was until I hit mile 13. And it was at that point, I was like, mile 13. I was like, where am I at? I'm like, oh, I'm at an hour 45. I am dead on
pace.
track.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, okay. But I knew the heat, like at that point, the heat was already starting to bug me. And I really had wished I didn't wear a t-shirt and I had worn like something without sleeves or something, like, you know. So I was like, this, like, so I was like, oh, okay, this is brutal. So it was starting to pick up, and the heat got to be a little much. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to pull back a little and make sure that I've got some for the end. Like, I want to make sure that I can push through those last couple of miles. So I'd started to pull back a little, but not much. Like, I think I'd pulled back from like an 8-minute pace to like 8:30-ish. So not like a lot, but enough that I could make it up on the end if I needed to. And then mile 19 happened and it all went downhill.
Mile 19. What happened at mile 19?
That's where my legs started cramping up. So my first cramp happened in my left leg. My left calf cramped up at mile 19. And I had to stop and stretch. And I was like, okay, that's not cool. Like, that's all right. That's going to obviously, and I think I even said in the video, I was like, that's going to happen again. Like I could just tell, like there was just no way that wasn't going to happen. And then it wasn't even mile 20 and the right leg went. And I was like,
You gotta be kidding.
you gotta be kidding me. So I was like, okay. So I just would I'd stop and stretch and just do whatever. And I just was like, all right, I'm just going to push through. I'm going to do whatever I can. And like, I probably should have taken more videos than I did, because I took one at every mile, and I probably should have taken some others of like the stretching and the BS and the emotions. And like some of the emotions came through in the video, but not like the full extent. Not like mile 19, like that hurt. And then mile 20 happened and they both cramped up. And it's like, it got to a point where I was like, this is not okay. But I was determined to finish that race. Like, it was happening. 21. And then like, I forget if it was 21 or 22, but I was like, I could see the State House in the distance. And like at that moment, like I lost it. Like I was in so much pain. I just lost it. I was like, I'm going to get there. Like I will literally crawl across that goddamn finish line if I have to. Like, I'm not going to let anything stop me from getting to this goal. Like, I worked way too hard to not cross that line one way or the other. And then so like every time my legs would cramp up, I'd stop. So mostly I would try to stop at the water tables if I could. I'd stop, grab 2 or 3 waters and just like chill for a minute, stretch, make sure I could rehydrate, and then keep on going. And then I would run like a half mile to a mile until I physically just couldn't anymore because the pain was so bad that I had to stop and stretch again. And it was right around mile like 22 and a half, the start of mile 23 is where I realized I wasn't sweating anymore. And I was like, awesome.
That's
so
bad.
Heat exhaustion is setting in.
Was that
So I
all
was
you
like,
had?
so I knew.
Were you just using the on-course support, or did you carry anything with you at all? Like, were you allowed to have a Camelback or a handheld, or did you have goos and gels?
Yeah, so I had my gels. So I did have my gels. I didn't have any other water, and in hindsight, I wish I had. I wish I. So there, I saw other runners, not really with Camelbacks, but I saw other runners that had like on the backs of their pouches had like the 2 little canteens.
Yes.
Even that would have been perfect. It would have been perfect
A little
if
extra
I'd had
something to
those.
supplement, right? Yeah.
Yep. So I kind of wish I had, because the I think they were underprepared, I think, for the amount of heat as well, the course.
Did they
So,
run
like,
out?
They're giving you these little baby water cups, and I'm like, this is not enough. Like,
That's on
this
every
is
course, Ron.
not enough.
That's what they do on
It was-
every course.
Oh, it's so brutal.
There's not
So I was
enough.
like,
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk to these race directors.
right?
I'm taking
So
notes.
it
you
was-
guys.
So it was, that was tough, right? So I'm trying to figure that out. And then, so I knew as soon as I stopped sweating, I knew what that meant. And I was like, I need to take it easy. I need to stop at every aid station at this point. Like, I need to do whatever I need to do to not be on the side of the course. And then the closer I got, the more and more people I saw down on the side. And I just felt so bad for all of them. And I was like, I don't want to be that person. Like, so, but I just, I kept doing my thing, kept taking the videos every mile. And like I said, hindsight, I wish I had taken more to actually like convey how miserable that was, because I don't think the video does a good job of conveying it. Because like mile 24, I was in so much pain, but like I still found a way to like smile and make myself laugh, being like, people do this for fun? Like, what is wrong with you people? Like, I just was trying to do anything at that point to just like get me through to the finish line. Like, mile 25 hit and I was like, had to stop and stretch again. Like, mile 25 and a half, I had to stop and stretch again. And I was like, I am gonna make it through. And then, so mile 23, we'll go backwards. There was a stupid hill. And I was like, I looked at it and I'm like, I hate you. I hate you. So I walked like half that hill because I couldn't run it. I had to walk like half that hill. And then, so fast forward back to 25 and a half, and I'm coming around and you're coming up to that last little spot for the finish line, and it turns left and goes uphill before it goes downhill to the finish line. And I just looked at it and I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me.
Awful.
And it
Awful.
wasn't even that big, but it was enough where you were like,
It was
this is
steep.
some sick, twisted joke, and I hate you. Like, that's what that was. But I was like, at this point, I'm running. Like, I'm going to push through the pain at this point, because it's like, it's right there. I'm just going to do it. But I was really glad at hindsight, I had everything on my phone instead of on my watch, because the last few long runs, I was playing music off my phone, because so for most of my training, I was using my watch for my times and playing music off my watch. So I was taking my phone just for recording, but it wasn't doing anything else.
Yeah.
All my music was on my watch. My playlist was on my watch. And I realized that was killing the battery life on, so anything over like 2.5 hours, and my watch wasn't going to cut it. So I started using the phone. So the downfall of that was if I was still using the watch for the run, it wasn't giving the metrics through my headphones. It was still, I could see them, I could look down at them, but I have it set that every 5 minutes it would tell me the time and my pace and my current heart rate. But I wasn't getting that on the longer runs because it wasn't there. So having it through the phone, it actually gave me all those metrics still, because my phone was hooked to my earbuds instead of my watch. So those last 2 miles, and it was great that the pacers were out there, right? So hour 30 was, or 3:30 was off the table. Like as soon as I got the first cramp, I knew 3:30 was off the table. It's fine. The 3:40 guy goes by me. Fine, whatever. I'll hit 3:45. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. The 3:45 guy goes by me, and I'm like, okay. I got like 2.5 miles left. I'm like, okay.
So you had
fine.
to adjust your
3:45.
expectations, huh?
Yep, like 3:45. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. The 3:50 guy goes by me, and I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, not today. Not today. This is no. My B goal was 4 hours, and I was like, no. I can do this. I don't care. I will push through as much pain as I can. I can do this. And at the same time, I've got my phone going off in my ear. 3 hours, 45 minutes. 3 hours, 50 minutes. And that last mile, I wanted to just like walk. Like I just wanted to walk, but
just done.
I was just done. And then it went off and it was like 3 hours, 50 minutes. I said, not today. Not today. Like I'm doing this. And that pushed me through. And then I had to stop at 3.5 or 25.5. And I had to stop again. And I was like, oh my God. And it went off and it was like 3 hours, 55 minutes. And I was like, oh no. And I just like booked. And I was just like, I am finishing this race under 4 hours. Like this is not happening to me. Like I am finishing this race in under 4 hours. Cause I had set that as a goal for myself. And again, back to, I have no idea what I'm doing. I am thinking 4 hours is
that's a coaching issue.
Long time. And I think that like,
She's ready to punch him. I could do it for
like,
you.
I'm thinking like 4 hours is like bad. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking like, it's not good enough. Like, it's not fast enough. Like if I'm not under 4 hours. So I was just like, I was determined to hit that goal no matter what.
Well, I have to say well done because under 4 hours is spectacular in my book.
Yes.
Faster than my marathon time, man. And I had leg cramps too. I know what you were going through. It hit me at mile 21 or so. Actually, the guy told me it was IT band syndrome, which I never had before in my life. So I just thought leg cramps. But it was the worst part. I never had anything like that during my entire training when I trained for my first marathon. And it made the last 5 miles just plain miserable. And I'm so close to the finish because you actually run by it and stuff and you see everything. And I'm just in the struggle fest right then. And I'm losing my voice again. But I know that feeling, it's just like you have an A goal and a B goal maybe and a C goal, but you never plan for something like that to happen.
It is hard to adjust. Like some days are just not your day. And there's things out of your control, like the weather and the heat. There's just nothing you can do about it. So you just have to do your best. And if you have to adjust your expectations, it is what it is. And just be proud of yourself for completing it. And you did do your sub 4, correct? Yeah?
Yeah, 3:56.
That is excellent.
We're right, 3:56 or 3:50. I don't even remember.
Well, whatever it was,
3:55. I thought
fantastic. That was a rough day. I mean,
it was rough.
I have done 40 marathons now. Like last weekend, I ran Maine Coast when you guys were running Providence.
Yep.
That day was not my day. I did a 5:10. How's that for you? I walked like the last 8 miles. I was like, nope, not my day. Don't feel like it. But I've only done sub 4 twice, and that was on like perfect weather, perfect conditions, and I like ran my ass off. So just be proud of what you did. You accomplished something excellent, especially for your very first marathon. So what I need to know, will you do another one? Did this like totally deter you from doing it, or would you be like, I'd give it another shot?
Oh, we've got a whole plan now.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Well, wait. You don't know his full plan, Nicole. You obviously don't. You didn't know.
Would you like to raise your hand if you're not helping?
I'll raise it for him.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.
Guilty.
Well, no. There was a hot minute where I was like, never again.
That-
like this was the worst.
That's usually
He
the
did say
first
that when he
mile.
crossed the finish line.
Yeah, usually
Those
the first
last
spot.
6 miles were hell.
Right there.
And I did say
My
Never
notes
again.
right there. Did you ever think you were never going to do this again?
Yep. Those last 6 miles were just absolute hell, and I felt like I had done everything I could to train for that, and just that heat. It's the maybe I'm wrong, but I sure feel like it was the heat that did me in that day, and I feel like it would have gone better if it wasn't for the heat. So I took a couple of days to. I was really like hard on myself and really kind of down on myself for not hitting my goal. And like I had a really, if you even watch a couple of the videos that I posted from like post marathon, like I was really kind of hard on myself about like really kind of struggling with like, it's great. Like, I don't know, like I finished, but I didn't hit my goal. So it was like, was it good enough? I really had a hard time with that, which sucked. And then I kind of came around from that. And then, so now I'm like, well, now I have to do it again. 'Cause I really want to see if I can hit 3:30. Right. I want to see if I can hit 3:30.
You can.
So
I believe in you. Absolutely.
Absolutely can. It was just the weather.
3:30 I think is definitely achievable. I don't know about anything faster than that, but 3:30 for sure.
You have it in you.
So before we get into Nicole's race, I mean, I was talking to you after the race, just like congratulating you on yours, and we were like, this just wasn't anybody's day. Like I watched you guys on social media, and then just from my experience from the race that I did in Maine, I made it to 11 and a half. Everybody was like taking walking breaks, and that is something you usually don't see so early in a race. And you could just tell you're like, this is going to be a rough day for everybody. So
Yep.
it's just something you got to cope with. There's just nothing you can do. So just not anybody's day. It was rough.
No.
So don't be so hard on yourself, my friend.
It's hard.
It is.
Just so I don't say it, the next note I had under, did you ever think you're never going to do this again? My question was...
I see why you don't want to ask this question. All right. Did you ever want to cuss out your coach?
Oh yeah. There was a hill workout where I just wanted to like kill her.
Yeah, middle
100%.
fingers flying.
There was she had me doing what was it, like 640 uphill for a quarter mile.
Well, that's why you're such a
640
strong runner.
640 uphill for a quarter mile.
Thanks to your coach.
And then back down and then back up. And then I had to do that 6 times. And so the first one was okay. It's fine. The second one is all right. Then the third one, I was like, this is not fun. And the fourth one, I was like, I hate her right now. The fifth and sixth one, I was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing this again. And I don't like her.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Remember, I told you in the comments, your next workout is gonna suck if you keep it up.
Yeah. So
But he doesn't listen anyway, so he won't
She's
do it.
totally right. The hill workouts, as much as they suck, they're good for you.
They're
like
so good for you.
vegetables. You got to eat your vegetables because they're good for you. They're gonna make you healthy. They're gonna make you stronger.
yeah, well, a quarter mile at interval pace up a hill is not fun. I don't care.
Those are
how
the
you shake
worst
it.
kind of vegetables, but they're healthy.
If you want to go downhill, you gotta get up the hill.
Tell me about
I love it.
Tell me about the finish line. There's a video out there. Thanks to Jay for taking the video. Well, we don't actually see you cross the finish line, but it looks like when you come into the frame, you already have a medal in your hand.
Yep.
And you see Nicole, and she's like waving, no.
Yep.
You hand
That's
the medal
pretty much
off
what
to
happens.
somebody else. You do a little ballerina 360. That should be your signature move, by the way,
Pirouette.
going
Dude,
forward.
I was so out of it. So like I was between the heat exhaustion and everything else. I was so zoned out. I could hear people, but it was just noise. The race announcers, like it's on the video, you can hear the race announcer. Marathoners take your medals on the left, half marathoners on the right. I didn't hear that at all. None. There was just
Imagine grabbing
noise.
the wrong medal after your
Like-
first marathon.
I did.
Oh, really?
I didn't hear I didn't hear anything. Like, it was just noise. And I was looking for Jen because I knew she was there. But there's a million people and I have no idea where she is. And I'm like trying to look for her. And then I've got this medal in my hand. And then then all of a sudden I see her and I'm like, oh. And she's like, no, put that one back. I was like, okay. Like, I'm not 100% not with it. And then, so like, I did that little ballerina twirl thing. And then like gave her a quick hug. And then I was like immediately trying to find Jen still.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's Jen? And then like, I got over to her and I just like lost it. I was just like, I just lost it. It's brutal.
That's rough.
Was that all the two of you, was that the only interaction the two of you had after the race, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty much.
We saw each other at another point when we were doing pictures on the podium. But then after that, he ended up going back and taking a shower and doing stuff.
My legs hurt so bad that so I walked away from her, went and saw Jen, walked back over to her and said, I need to something. And I needed like the banana and I needed a water and I needed something and I needed to figure my life out for 10 seconds. And I went and laid down for 20 minutes and put my legs up and tried to stretch out my calves because I couldn't walk because everything just hurt and I just couldn't move. And I just laid on the grass and didn't know what to do with myself.
Oh, man.
Nicole, how did you actually get into that area to hand him his medal? Did you like hop a fence? Did you go under a fence? Because that's kind of easy for you probably. Did you like break any rules or laws? Did you have to act like you're one of the medal handler outer peoples?
I'm a volunteer.
No, there were people that were.
That a word?
Handler outers. Handler outers.
Handler outers. No, there were people that were like other runners that were waiting for others to finish that I noticed on the other side. So I was like, oh. So I ended up like finding a little bit of the opening of the barrier and just kind of like went in and I just kind of stood there. They knew that people were standing there waiting for others to finish because the announcers kept saying, all of the people waiting, you need to let the runners come in, because everybody kind of kept inching out. Like Ron said, there was tons of people there. So you're looking around for all of the finishers to cross the finish line. And I'm like, okay, he's wearing this kind of shirt. Okay. But everybody was everywhere. So you're trying to inch out and then they're like, you need to move in. And then I'm like, I can't see over the medals because I'm 5 feet tall. And so it's just like, you're just trying to figure it out. So that's how tall I am. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what he heard out of all of that was I'm 5 feet tall.
That's the only thing
The only thing he heard was you're 5 feet tall.
He's in like top-notch form today.
I'm being
Oh my God.
I'm being an asshole.
You guys just play off of each other. So.
Jesus.
I'm that comfortable around her now.
Yeah.
Now we've been doing this since we met. I don't know what you're talking about.
True, we probably have been doing this.
Probably.
All right.
Fine.
No more short jokes for the next 2 minutes.
Do you want to get into Nicole's race? See how
That's a pretty short time, don't you think?
Oh,
We can ask her.
good one.
That was good, Ron.
I missed that.
Wow. Light
It
bulb
was
went
only
off.
2 minutes. Ron just says something like, it's a pretty short time.
He thinks he's hilarious, so.
I know I'm hilarious.
Hey,
There's a difference.
One of you hinted about taking a shower. How was that shower after?
Oh, it was horrible.
Oh.
It was the worst decision I've ever. It felt great, but it was the worst decision I've ever. Jen has
What
a
was
video
bad about it?
from the
Video of
other
you taking
room.
a shower.
Did you
I
chafe
need
at
this.
all?
That's what I.
Oh yeah,
did.
that was the problem.
That's
I
why,
got
yeah.
didn't know, felt fine, got in the shower,
the
and I was
worst,
like, oh my
guys.
God, that hurts so bad. Oh my God, oh, everything hurts. So she has a video of me screaming like a little girl
I
in the
love
shower
that.
from the other room.
I need to talk to your wife and acquire that video.
Fact.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Fact.
Yep.
How long? Okay, so recovery-wise, did you stay at the hotel that night? Did you go home? All right.
to get back
Recovery-wise,
home.
like, were you able to get in and out of the car easily? How many days did it take you for you to feel normal again and decide I'm going to run an Erika's 10-miler? What were the next few days like?
Yeah, the next day was rough, right? So like that day we left, like went back, showered, got in the truck, and drove home. And like I felt okay. Like my legs were definitely tight.
Did
like,
you
there's
drive?
no two ways about that. Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah.
Impressive.
My legs were definitely tight, but like it felt okay. So I drove home, and then I needed food badly. I was starting to get dizzy, and I was like, I need something.
Sounds like
So
you shouldn't be driving.
Probably not.
Jen.
So we went to Five Guys, and
Top.
I have not had a double cheeseburger in like 3 years. I usually just get the juniors. I went like full for it, like double bacon cheeseburger,
Heck yeah.
the fries, and I just devoured the entire thing.
The
And
amount
all
of
the calories, get all the
Yeah,
calories back
the
in.
amount of calories that a marathoner burns, especially if you're running paces like yours, like you're talking like 4,000 calories, probably minimum.
Yeah.
You're sweating like crazy. You need the salt. You need all the. Well,
Yep.
a burger's good anyway, so you need
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Speaking of the salt, though, you had asked me about the gels and stuff on the course too. So I did. I had my goos on the course, and I had it planned for, so I took one right before without the caffeine in it because I just had the coffee. So I took one right before, and then it was going to be 5, 10, 15, 20 was the plan. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take 2 extras out there in case I drop one or I need another one for the final push. And so I'm glad I did, because those last 6 miles were so bad with the cramps. I was like, I just need the extra sodium in my body to try and do anything I can to mitigate these cramps. So those last 2 ended up not being spares or extras. They were vital to me finishing that race. Yeah.
I'm going to take some heat for this take, but it seems like the 3 of you are all on the same page, but Five Guys isn't that good.
What?
Hey, you're not on the same page as us now.
You don't like
You
Five
don't like
Guys
Five
in your
Guys?
mouth?
Not that good. No, I mean, definitely don't like Five Guys, but no, Five Guys.
He missed it. It went right over his
I
head.
don't think it's that
Womp
good.
womp.
I don't think it's that good.
I would choose Five Guys burgers and fries over like McDonald's or any shit like that.
Heck yeah. Every day.
All day, every
I
day.
actually
Yeah.
think their fries are not great. The other one, In-N-Out Burger, meh.
You got to get their
In-N-Out
Cajun
is so
fries.
delicious.
Yeah, the Cajun fries are where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't get the regular fries. I get the Cajun
You gotta
fries.
get
They're
the
way better.
spiciness.
Yeah, I was meh when I had it. It's down the street from here in Nashua.
Yeah.
Meh.
I know.
Doesn't excite me.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that.
He's just wrong. It's fine.
Do you get the grilled jalapenos on your burger? The grilled
no.
jalapenos.
No.
Grilled jalapenos.
I think we covered most of this, but
All right.
Nicole, did you want to talk about your race
Yeah,
at all?
Coach, I was going to say,
Yeah. It wasn't my day either. So I was using the half as a PR from my half that I beat Ron at. And so I was going
Only
for
you had somebody to pace off of.
yeah,
maybe that was my
Thanks.
problem.
thanks for the
Um,
slingshot.
So I was going for a sub 140. So I, put in all the work too with my coach, and I think by mile 4, I knew it wasn't my day. It was just not. I did a like my strides with Justine, and I could feel my stomach kind of like side stitches, and I was like, maybe just because I just had a banana an hour ago, so I'll let it settle a little bit. I'll be fine. And at the start, I was in Corral C. And then what they ended up doing, because I think, Ron, you were in A, and then there was a B corral for the marathon. So then all the half marathoners were in corral C. There were so many people. Some guy came right up to me, this lady, and a couple of guys I was chatting with, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna split you guys up. So you're gonna be in C1 and we're gonna be in C2." And I'm like, "Wait, how does this work?" Because I'm going with the pacer, and he's like, "I don't really know." And I'm like, "Wait." So everybody was like, "I'm moving up. We're not doing that. If you're not going to have a pacer, I can't catch up with that guy." So I ended up moving up. And the minute we got started, it was just, I could just feel the cramps in my stomach. It was all just cramped. Just like the side stitches cramps. I couldn't get rid of them no matter how hard I tried. I stopped at every water table. I was like, maybe I'm dehydrated, but I drank a lot of water yesterday. I drank water this morning. I had electrolytes. I ate nothing new. There was nothing I did differently, and I just couldn't get rid of them. I would, a lot of times you can put your arm up and press on the cramp and massage it out, breathe it out, deep breath. No matter what I did, they would not go away. One side, my left side ended up going away, and then I had one really bad on my right side that just moved. I could just feel it moving down, and it was just so bad that I wanted to stop so bad. And I just was like, I just have to push. So I think around I was like trying not to do the math in my head because I was like, I knew I was so upset. I was just so mad because I wanted that PR so badly. I worked so hard for it. But I just was like, well, it's not my day. A lot of people were walking. A lot of people were just like, this sucks. Like, we can't do it. Like, we're just not going to push ourselves. And I had to just really be smart and listen to my body and just say, your body doesn't want to push today. It doesn't matter. You're out here having fun, doing what you want to do. You know, like I was really thinking about Ron too. And like your athlete's out there doing his thing. You're going to get to watch him finish. So I was all in my head. And then I finished and I literally fell into Jay's arms and cried because I was so sad about the fact that I didn't make it. I ran a 140. I think the thing says 148. My watch said 147. I did really well considering everything. So that I'm very proud of the time. I think it was just, I wanted it so badly. And then the texts are coming in like, you did so great. And I just cried all over again. I'm like, I just like Ron said, it is so emotional and just draining when you've crossed the finish line, knowing that you're trying to push, especially when you have, part of your body just doesn't want to let you do what you want to do. And, you're right, Erika, when you have no control over that stuff, that is my hardest thing in not only running, but just life. When I don't have any control over anything, it is the hardest thing when you're trying to like convince your body to do something or, somebody to do something. It's just the hardest thing in the world. And so that was the part where I had to go mentally in and say, you just have to go with the flow. And I am not a go with the flow type of woman. I am more of like a structured planner type of person. And it goes back to my other episode of, my childhood was chaos. So I just try to plan as best I can. But
yeah,
I've done a lot better this year with just letting go. And so I was like, just let it happen. Whatever happens, happens. There's nothing you can do about it now. And so that was just it. And I was upset for a few days. And then I kind of pulled myself out of it. It was like, I did a really good job considering the conditions, the weather. Like I wasn't taken out on a stretcher. I didn't get heat stroke or anything like that. So I was just trying to be really smart, but just wasn't
There's
my
definitely
day.
so much there that you guys should be proud of, honestly.
Yeah.
Like that was a
definitely.
tough day and
Definitely.
you guys crushed it. Like,
yeah. And
I'm so proud.
I just knew like and I knew Ron was struggling when I saw 330, when I saw 335, when I saw 340, when I saw 345 on the clock, I was like, he's going to be so upset because I know how hard he worked. I know, the work we put into this. I know that, he's so hard on himself. He's super stubborn. So, but I really tried to like talk him out of it the next couple of days. And we talked about it, I think a day or two after. And he's like, I'm so upset. I'm like, and I totally get it because I've been there. We've all been there as marathoners. Yeah. But this was also your first one, and a sub 4 in your first one is damn amazing. And you should be so proud. But then I'm like saying it to him and I'm like, I got to say this to myself too, because it's like, you ran 26 miles, even 13, even 10 is
a lot of work. It's like a lot of stress on your body.
It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of work. It's, and then people are back-to-back marathoners, which is nuts, but it's just a lot on yourself and your mind and your body. And it can be very overwhelming. I found Boston to be very overwhelming. That was like my most overwhelming marathon. But yeah, I think it becomes a mental game at that point. So it was great that Ron was trying to push himself and be funny and talk himself through it, because that's really where you push. You have to tell your mind that you can do it, and then you can do it. That goes back to the discipline thing. Like, you might not want to do it, but what are you going to do? You have a choice. You can either be taken out. Somebody can take you out on a golf cart. You can have a DNF, and or you can push through and walk and crawl and get yourself there, and you're going to get to that finish line no matter what.
I had to get myself across that finish line, but there was one guy down with less than a half mile to go, and I just wanted to pick him up and carry him, because I was like, I'm looking at the medics and I'm like, you gotta let him finish.
Right.
He's so
feel for
close.
him.
Right. Yeah, I knew Justine was like just struggling too, because I was texting her out on the course and there was no freaking cell service. I couldn't get cell service at all. We were trying to track, so there was.
How big was this race, by the way?
There was a lot of people who ran the half. The half was bigger
and everything.
Yeah, I think there was like 13,000 bibs or something like that for the half,
right.
and
so
stuff.
That would also make the cell service a lot worse too.
It did, and every now and then it would come in, but we were trying to track. So I was trying to track Ron. I was trying to track Justine, and I couldn't track them because the app wasn't working. every now and then my phone would come back in service, and Justine was updating us on her miles. And she knew she was going for the 3:32, and she just knew it wasn't her day either. And she was like, I just want to walk off the course. And I was like, you're not doing that. Like, you got this. I don't care if you have to walk, like, you're not doing it. So we kind of talked her through it too, but
there's no shame in walking.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. I dealt with it.
Who coaches Justine?
It was bad. Justine.
Okay.
Oh, she does it herself?
Yeah, I mean, she gets like a plan from, do you follow that? It's called Track Club Babe or something like that on Instagram. She's wonderful. She's like super fast.
I want to go back again. We're going back a couple times. You mentioned, doing the videos around people, but one of my questions was, what were people thinking of you talking to yourself on the phone every mile?
Dude, people just laugh at you. It's so funny. So I've had mixed reactions. I've had some people that look at me like with an angry stare, and I'm like, I'm literally not bothering you. Like, go away. Like,
you're probably just agitated from all the crap going on. So don't.
You
take
have
it
other
personal.
people. Yeah, you have other people who just look at you and just laugh, and you're like, okay, it just took your mind off whatever you were doing.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But I've also had some people just go, how are you doing that? Like, how are you physically running at that pace and still talking to your phone? And like, so I've had a lot of people ask me like how I managed to do that. But I like, even after your race on Saturday, I had a girl who came in behind me. She even said to me, she had an issue with her watch, and she was actually in front of me up until mile 8. Nope, mile 7. Up until mile 7.
Did you accuse her of drafting off of you?
I was just going to say, sounds like Nicole from the year before.
So
nope, you didn't.
So she told me that she was in front of me, but she could hear me. And as I got closer to her, she could obviously hear me even better. And she said that it was very helpful because I was calling out my speed. I was calling out the times. And she said it was very helpful to her because she had no idea because her watch wasn't working. So, but I found Saturday, I don't know what happened. I found magic speed miles 7 and 8 that just came out of nowhere. And I made it 45 seconds.
That course especially.
I think it's like downhill on the way back. Like, honestly, I feel that too. Cause I've run that, like that's one of my favorite races, like in the past. And I've PR'd like the last couple of times I ran it. It's just faster on the way back.
Yeah. To date, that's my best race ever a few years ago, that 10 miler.
Yeah. You were like third.
That was in the middle of my Ironman training. So 2019. And I had negative splits the entire second half. I was flying. The only thing that would have made me better would be Nicole when I hire her one day for a coach. So that was...
I guess it works. There's your answer.
I'm going to test it out to see if it works.
Oh,
yeah, it's a good idea.
It's an experiment. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, Ron, I really enjoy your smiling face. Like, you just do make it seem more fun than it actually is. Like, you just have a really positive attitude, and I appreciate seeing that. Even though we know it sucks, running sucks sometimes, but like, it's just nice to see a smiling face, like getting through all those miles. So keep it up, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Ron, it's been 8 days since the marathon. It's been 2 days since the 10 miler. How you feeling?
Yep, that was fine. I was a little tight this morning, actually, but other than that, I feel good. Like, my boss does Ironmans and stuff. I think we talked about it last time, right? Or he just triathlons. Sorry, not Ironmans, just triathlons. And he even said to me, he goes, "You ran 10 miles a week after a marathon?" I was like, yeah. He goes, "What is wrong with you?"
Do you know how many like questions I got? Like, people are like, "You let him do this?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. Do not blame me for this. I didn't even know he was doing it." So like, they're like, "Oh my God, he should be resting." I'm like, I'm well aware that I gave him rest days throughout the entire week and then gave him a 20-minute run yesterday. And I was like, okay.
Well, Nicole, here's a great chance for you to tell us, why would that be a big no-no?
What? Running 10 miles after a marathon?
Yeah. And you know him. He's not just jogging.
I gotta say, I don't follow advice like that either, so I could use some tips. maybe to calm myself down.
Well, I just think like most people take a good solid week off. You just put your body through 16 weeks of rigorous training. So your muscle, and not to mention in 26 miles, your muscles are completely broken down. You have to allow them time to rest and reset and do what they need to do for the next time. So if you add an additional 10 miles, and not to mention he wasn't going out running 10-minute miles in like an easy pace skipping as he likes to do. He was going out at like a 7:45. So you're doing, essentially you can damage and hurt yourself if you do stuff like that. So it can be serious if you're not taking care of yourself, and where you just ran a marathon. You ran 26 miles, not even a week prior, and then you went out and ran 10 miles.
So what I'm hearing is if I had waited another week, I would have been faster.
Yeah, probably.
You might have
Or
won.
if you ran like 2 minutes a mile slower, you would have not.
Even then, it should really be like a solid week of rest. Your whole body, like you said, Ron, your whole legs, you couldn't even walk. You really should have just let your body rest. Not just you, but like everybody should just give themselves a solid week of rest, and then like the week after slowly get back into it.
I think I gave myself 2 days.
Yeah, you did, because then you went out and ran 3 miles, and then you ran 4.
I'm so guilty
Wednesday I went out and did 3, and
I used to be like that, and I just can't do it anymore.
Like,
after the half, I gave
something.
myself a whole week
Ron,
off.
That's how you become an ultra runner. You just have no chill, and you're like, I can keep running. I can keep going.
I mean, I'm in triathlon training now.
That's the best training, Nicole.
Do something. Like I have to do something.
Because like my half ended, and I was supposed to be in triathlon training last week, but I actually ended up I actually went to the doctor this morning because my knee's been hurting me.
Oh no!
And I could feel like a bump on the side of my right knee. So I went to the doctor this morning because I was like, I need to make sure everything's fine. So I rested all week. And it's not the knee, it's my sacral muscle and like my butt area, and then my IT band, and everything is so tight in that leg that it ends up pulling, and then my knee ends up like moving, because it's like there's nothing wrong with the bones or the joints, because she checked it this morning. She's like, everything in there is solid. She's like, I don't even hear any creaking sounds.
Mm-hmm.
But it's everything like pulling on like the ligaments and the muscles, because everything is just connected from like up down. And so it's literally just pulling, because I'm stupid and I don't stretch. So this is a PSA to everybody who's listening to make sure you stretch.
I stretch.
That's good.
I stretch.
I say it every
At
week
least
at the end
5
of
minutes
this
before,
podcast, and I still
and
can't
at
freaking do it
least
myself.
5
Well, you don't want to
minutes
do it
after.
before. You do it after. You do a warm up, which is why I
if
give
you
a
listen
warm-up.
to Matt Wilpers,
Wilpers.
before
Wilpers.
Thank you.
you don't do static stretching before. You
Correct.
do,
No,
You
dynamic.
do dynamic
Right,
stretching
dynamic.
before.
Dynamic.
and then
Which is what I
after
do.
you can do your static stretching.
Yes.
Yes,
For
I do
people
5
who
minutes of
don't know,
dynamic.
Google
I
it.
have I have the Peloton app on my phone. I have taken every single pre-run and post-run warm up and stretch that is in the digital app, and I have done them all multiple times.
Who's your
because-
favorite instructor?
So for what? For running or for the bike? Because they are different.
Both. Go for it.
So for running, I really do like Bex a lot,
Bex
but I
is the
also
best.
really like Matt. Like
Yes!
I just feel like
They are
Matt
my
and I,
go-tos.
like,
We're gonna
we're
get
connected.
We get. No wonder why we get along so well.
Matt's actually my favorite spin instructor too. Like
Yeah.
he's like I love his.
He's
power
really
classes.
good.
Matt and Bex are the only
Yes.
two I use. Occasionally, Olivia. Actually, Olivia quite a bit.
The glitter assassin. No.
Yeah. No, but she works. She puts in the work, and her workouts are hard.
She kills me though. Like she'll do I'll do runs with her,
I'll let her
and she'll
kill
be like,
me.
"Okay, we're gonna go for like between a 6 and a 10, a 10.0," and I'm like, "No, we're not." And then she's like, "Okay, we just did that one. Now we're gonna do an 8 to a 12," and I'm like, like hell, like cannot keep up with her paces. Like no freaking
No,
way.
I've loved Matt since day one. I think Matt's the best. She turned me on to Bex, and then I think Bex is fantastic now. I really enjoy taking her runs. I do love Matt's
She's my
a little
all-time
better.
favorite.
And then I like Olivia because of Power Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And and I won't mention the ones I hate. She knows who I hate.
I
And
do.
There's multiple. There's many. And hate's a strong word.
but you do.
That is a strong word.
It's a strong
We'll
word.
fill you in off.
But there's
off
some
air.
who's like, all right, mate, we're in a zone 5 now, and we're going to go really hard. And his legs are moving like this. I'm like, he's not even moving or stretching. I go, screw you, because Matt works. And the joke is, what is more, sweaty Matt or sweaty Matt with 1 T or 2 T's? Because he's out there working.
Oh,
I'm all stuffed up now.
You just
Okay.
got too excited.
But
I get it.
um,
I get it.
we love the Peloton app. I love those stretches too. But yeah, Matt, Olivia, Bex.
Yeah.
John
I-
Hosking is really fun for just a fun thing.
He's funny.
Club
Yeah.
Hosky.
Club
Love
Hosky.
him.
Three of Matt's warm ups are bookmarked and saved, so I
Same.
have them offline
On the bike
too.
for me. On the bike.
So that like those are the go to ones that I use the most for my pre run warm ups are 3 of Matt's that I really
Do you have the bike
like
at home?
and just work for me. Yeah,
Have you taken
Nice.
an FTP test with Matt yet?
not with Matt. No.
Or just have you taken an FTP test at all?
Yes.
The worst.
Yeah,
Brutal.
they're miserable.
I haven't
Yeah.
taken one in like a year and a half. I refuse.
Yeah, I've been pretty much off the bike for the last 16 weeks. I've had a couple days here and there, like very easy, very moderate, but I've basically been off the bike for 16 weeks.
It's good cross training, but
Yeah, it
I
is.
haven't. It's been a solid
It's
month
the best.
for me.
Dave McGilvery was like, Erika, you gotta do it. If he talked to you right now, Nicole, he'd be like, you're doing it right, Nicole, because you going out for triathlons is going to extend your running life.
It's true.
A while ago, you both hinted what was next, and you have a plan. I don't think we talked about the plan. We got off track. Like
You were making fun of her. That's
happens all the time.
So that's why we're off track.
What is the plan
Easy.
2 of you have that the both of you are aware of? Because we know sometimes Ron likes to not tell you everything, Nicole. But what have the 2 of you talked about, and what is next?
Ron, do you want to talk about your plan, or do you want me to tell it for you?
So I think right now, because I'm still mad at myself, the plan right now is to shoot for Bay State because I really want that 3:30.
Okay.
Isn't that in Lowell?
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's a half that I'm intrigued by in Brunswick in September.
The flight deck half?
The flight deck half. Because part of it's on the runway. And I was like,
Oh,
that just
cool.
sounds cool. So
Very Top
why
Gun
not?
vibes out
Because
of
it
that. That's
sounds
what I get.
cool. Yeah, right? So it just sounds cool. So it's like, so I think that's what we're looking at.
Do you think he's
right
going to
now.
be on the runway like Tom Cruise, just like fist pumping in the air?
He better. Oh, there you go for your mile markers.
Have to wear
Just
aviators.
yes.
Aviators. Come on.
Ooh, aviators.
Yes.
I like it.
There you go.
I'll have to get a whole bomber jacket.
I have
Hold on,
I
you're-
have
just
a
do the whole
bomber
thing.
jacket from a Top Gun costume I wore for Halloween once. It's
It's
a
only- I
crop
mean, it's
top
only
on
a
me,
half,
but if you
so-
want to borrow it, you can.
You just have to make sure you put Danger Zone in the background.
So it's a kid size.
Yeah, basically. It's from the Baby
Not
Gap.
gonna lie,
so-
I have child size, like the child size, like baseball jerseys and like sports stuff. They are
Mhm.
awesome because they're way cheaper
Mhm.
and they still
Yep.
fit like a regular friggin' jersey. Go
Yep.
child size if you fit. I'm like a child
Yep.
XL, but it works. I don't care.
That's what Jen does. She does the same
It's
thing.
so
She'll buy
smart.
the child
Like
size ones. Yeah.
$70 cheaper. Anyways, I take
Heck, yeah, that's where I get a lot of my running clothes, and I can buy kids' shoes. Keep making fun of me, Eric.
it. She's out there saving money.
That's right.
Perfect. I love
You
it.
and Jackson are at Kohl's shopping, and
Same section.
you're
I
just
got
like,
no shame. He's gonna have bigger feet than me.
Own it.
I do. No shame.
Wow.
In
Where do
high
you
school,
wanna
they used to literally pick me up on my backpack and move me.
Oh.
Ooh, but I will say, because I did mention it to you, Erica. I will say, so again, being very new at all of this, I'm really like, I've still obviously meeting people left and right. And so it's been cool to kind of follow everything you've been doing. I didn't know about the Abbott's 6-star thing.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. I had no clue, right? This is like, again, I just kind of picked this up on a whim, right? Like, so I've been very intrigued by that. So I've been like researching it and checking it out and everything. So it's, I feel like that's something I want to go for.
I think it's
So I think that's something
definitely
we're gonna.
worth it. I mean, it is a lot of like training time, a lot of money to travel, but you get to see some wicked cool places.
Probably have to pay for an
Yep.
expensive coach.
That helps depending on how you want to do. If you want to do well, try to qualify for Boston while you're running like Berlin and Chicago. Like,
No. I've already decided. As long as the fall goes well, no matter what my time is, I am doing Boston in the spring, one way or the other.
Ooh.
I don't care if I have to fundraise and pay for it. Like, I will do Boston in the spring, and I am going to throw the book out the window for times, and I am just going to go out and have fun.
Yes.
And just
that's
like
how you got to do it.
videotape the heck out of it.
Yes.
And just like, I saw so many videos from Boston, and I've heard from so many people about how amazing it is, and the Wellesley Scream Tunnel, and this and that and everything. And I'm just like looking at all these videos, and there's thousands and thousands of people, and I just had no idea what to expect for Providence, and I felt a little let down by the city of Providence. And
Yeah. Well, it's probably.
I really I really just want to go out and just like have a good time.
gotta
take it
And
in.
looks like a freaking party.
Yes.
And I just want to.
That's definitely the
do it.
marathon to do that for.
That
It
is
is
the way
incredible.
I would approach it. I've told our guests in the past, Sarah, Denise, even the Rella. The Rella was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it. But he wrote some posts that saying like how much he did still take in. No, go out there and take it in. I think of it like this. If you qualified on time, you hire the coach, you do all the work, you put it in, you qualified. Now go and enjoy your
Yeah,
reward.
your hard work.
Absolutely.
It
Go
is a
do-
reward.
Yeah.
That's honestly a great way to think
And
of
if
it.
you
Yeah.
raise 10
Definitely.
grand, go out there and enjoy the reward for raising 10 grand.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Either way,
Absolutely.
either way
So
you look at it, it's a lot of work. So you're either putting in
So-
the time or the money.
that's right. So next year will be the rate. So it'll be right around my 40th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be my sort of birthday present to myself. Is I'm going to go out and I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to have a good old time and just like that's the plan. That's the plan right now.
What's your
Awesome.
wife think about this new obsession with running?
We're still talking about that.
Just remember, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
So
Well, this was fun. It's a lot of fun getting you both on. Nicole, you're amazing. We love this is like
I
your
just love your banter. The
like-
two of you guys.
yeah.
Well, three of you guys actually.
yeah.
You bring out
I
the asshole and
think you're
and
jealous.
Eric.
Apparently, I do that for a lot of people, so I guess I have a talent.
And Ron, it's really cool. Like the moment we saw each other on the bridge the other day, that was pretty cool. Like we've connected, all of us, and it's been a lot of fun. Even her, and she missed the first interview with you. So
Well, I feel like I know you because I listened to it, so I got
I
a
was
lot
gonna
of
say
the
the second I showed up on Saturday, she was like, "Run!" Like the second I walked up to, I didn't even make it to the registration table yet.
well, I'm really happy you did, and I'm happy we all met in this whole inner circle of whatever it is here is going
I
on.
just love the podcast has introduced me to so many cool people, and it's like it's introducing pod people to the pod people. Like
It is. It is.
It's just a lot
It
of
is.
fun. It's so cool.
And Nicole and I have been talking about another pod, so maybe one day that will happen soon. You know, so
Some cool things
Stay
to look forward
tuned.
to. Yes.
Yep, definitely.
well, Milk Buddy, thanks for coming on again. Thanks for telling us the story of the Providence Marathon, and thanks for the bullshit back and forth between the three of us. It's
course.
fun, and like I tell everyone listening, probably thinks maybe some of us are being mean to each other. No, we wouldn't say it if we didn't love each other. So
Very true.
Yeah, you guys dish it as well as you can take it. So everybody's
Definitely.
equal.
promise me one thing: next time the four of us do this, we do it in person.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right, we'll get one in, guys. Thank you, Ron.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank
I'm
you,
so glad
guys.
I got to witness this. This was a lot of fun for me.
was a lot
So
of
thank you
fun.
guys so much.
Thanks, Ron, for coming on, and thank you, Erica, for going on vacation so I could be a co-host with Eric. I do like making fun of him for his choice in phones, even though he's an Android user. But I will fill in anytime. I love being on the pod and co-hosting and coming on and just making fun of everybody. And
That was We were on a roll
But
there. A lot of
I
a lot of
know.
phone jokes, a lot of short jokes,
Yeah.
a lot of making fun.
Yeah, you were on a roll with your short jokes. It was a good one. But I am very proud of you, Ron. Even though I give him a lot of crap, and it's mostly because he starts it because he thinks he's hilarious. But and I know he doesn't tell me a lot of stuff. Most people know stuff before I do. But the uh, the legacy of "Don't Tell My Coach" has carried on with Lena. So any other athlete I bring on, I'm pretty sure is really just gonna take charge of that whole thing. But Ron's not going anywhere anytime soon. But I'm very proud of him for completing his first marathon. Didn't go the way he really, really wanted it to, but he got a sub 4, which was one of our goals on his plan. And he pushed through and he got there. So I'm very, very proud of
Yeah,
him.
I'm pumped up too. So you mentioned Lena and you mentioned your athletes. Let's talk about that. So you're still coaching Ron. Ron's got a goal. I think we
Yep.
talked about it on the interview. It's Bay
Yep.
State. How's it going with Lena
Yes.
right now? How's coaching for Lena? And you have a third athlete, right?
I do. Yep. Yep. So Lena's doing wonderfully. She just did the 10 miler for Total Image. She did amazing during that. So right now we're kind of just focusing on strength with her. We're doing some strength workouts. She's really getting back into yoga, which is what she wants to do. So she's really feeling a lot looser and a lot more kind of like ease with her runs. We're doing, regular easy runs right now, not focused on pace or distance. And we're trying something new a little bit right now with kind of focused on time on feet. So instead of miles, I'm just giving her more like 25-minute run, 30-minute run type of stuff just to see where she's at. And then when she's ready to focus on pace and speed, we'll get there. But she's got Reach the Beach in the summer, in the fall, and she's really looking forward to it. So I'm really excited for her because I know that's one of her favorite things to do, which is one of my favorite races to do. So she's really looking forward to that. And I know she does about 10 and a half-ish miles. And so I know she was looking at her previous time last year compared to what she just did for Total Image, and she's already improved so much. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do come September. But we've got some good plans for the summer. So I'm really excited to.
That's awesome. I love her. She's so cool. She's one of our favorite.
Yeah.
She's an OG from a while back. So that's so awesome that
Yeah.
that kind of she found you through us and the whole thing's
Yep.
kind of worked out. So I'm pretty pumped. Are you currently taking on any athletes?
I am. Yep.
How can they find you? How should they connect with you? Is it just slide in your DMs or is there another way?
Just slide right in. Yeah, that'd be great. I have my Instagram. I am on Facebook, and I am currently working on a website.
Really, a website? That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. So you trademark Run the Journey? You should, or whatever you're going to be called.
All I'm gonna say is I'm working on something.
I got to
big.
work on trademarking on the runs. That's what I got to do. I got to work on that. Well, I'm pretty pumped for you. I'm also pumped for you for another reason, because you're doing your first triathlon, and we've talked about this before, but your training is officially kicked in. Are you on week 3?
This is week 3.
Let's go in order: swim, bike, run. Let's start with swimming, because I kind of know how it's gone so far. And like your first swim, or maybe like your first week of swimming, you were like, "Holy cow!" Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was humbling. I haven't swam in years, and we're talking probably since I worked at NHTI as a residence director. I think I left there in 2013. So I was swimming before that. So I would swim a lot. I haven't swam since way back then. So I jumped in the pool and was like, okay, this is only 6 minutes.
Only 6
And
minutes.
I think I felt like I ran a half marathon. It was very just difficult. I really just kind of went with how my body felt. And then this past week, I did about 8 minutes, and I think I did 400 yards. It felt better. It felt more natural, but I took a video just because I want to keep watching my progress.
Right, I saw the
and
video,
see
yeah.
see what my form is. But I also got the guy next to me, and I was like, oh, his head is way underwater. And then I let him kind of go ahead of me. Not that I was like trying to race him or anything, but I was watching him, like his legs underwater, and I'm like, okay, I kind of have the same form, and my arms have the natural wave of just kind of going, and then my legs just know what to do. I think it's more just kind of like getting myself underwater. Like the breathing is just super, super hard.
Yeah.
And by the time I get like down there and back to where I started, I'm like,
Yes, yes. It took me forever
it
to
is
figure out
hard.
breathing. That was my
Yeah,
biggest
it is
concern.
hard.
So my first triathlon was a sprint distance, the same as yours, but it was a 500-yard-ish sprint, swim. And
Oh,
I at one point felt confident that I wouldn't drown and that I could do 500 because I would swim 100 and then I'd swim 50 with the backstroke to catch my breath. Head above water the whole time, and just it would like almost kind of settle me. Finally, I figured it
yeah.
out before the race, and I did all 500. I guess they call it freestyle. So, and I figured out breathing. Now, I don't know about you,
There you
but
go.
some people always breathe on their left or their right. I can't do that. I got to breathe.
Oh, see, I'm on my right.
Okay. I
Yep.
can't do one or the other. I got to do both. So I go 1, 2. I'm doing the strokes with my arms. 1, 2, 3. Breathe on my right. 1, 2, 3. Breathe on my left. Because when I breathe on one side the whole time, say I breathe to the right, I'm working extra hard on my left arm when I'm breathing.
Okay, interesting.
So I breathe both sides and I go 3. 1, 2, 3, right. 1, 2, 3, left. So that's what I do. I finally figured it out, and I just kind of, what I'm impressed with myself is when I started swimming and could swim and not stop for, say, 500 yards or more, my average would be about 215. That's 215 per 100 yards. I've improved that to just under a 150. And when
Nice.
and that's not really fast, but that's pretty good, I think. And the nice thing is now
Yeah.
when I jump back in the pool after not swimming for a while, I'm right there. So I've found with swimming is you go months without running, you're not going to be where you were. But I found with swimming, because I'm not a really, really fast swimmer, I'm just going for one pace, and that pace is called don't drown.
Yeah.
It's called survive.
Right.
So
Correct. Correct. Yeah, it is. I really like it, actually. I really like the swimming. I'm still getting used to, I never used to wear a swim cap, so I'm getting used to that. And then this past week, like my swim cap was coming up, so I was getting water in my ear. My goggles kept filling up with water. I just felt like I was a disaster. There was like a kid's kind of like swim
Yeah.
lesson going on, so I'm stopping and I'm trying to like dump the water and like tighten my
Right.
goggles because they're new. So I'm just really just figuring it out. And I think the best thing about this is there's literally no stress, because it's not, I've done so many marathons. I'm an avid runner. So that stuff stresses me out because I know what I'm capable of and what I can and can't do. But with this, I've never done it. So I'm just going with it. There's no pressure or
Yeah.
stress
No,
to
that's
be a
great.
certain pace at swimming or biking or anything of that. It's just literally just going to see what works and what doesn't.
When you finish the swim, you're gonna have this feeling. I have it every time. I did it. Like, you're good now.
Yeah.
You just go out there on the bike and then run, and you got 2 things that you
Yeah.
really know how to do, and then you can kind of work on your.
Listen, biking is super hard, and
Okay.
I thought swimming was going to be harder. Biking is infinitely harder for me. It's just the uphills. It's just very challenging, and I have really strong quads, but holy shit, it hurts going up those hills with your bike. And I mean, I don't have the best bike. I got it off of Marketplace,
I
so
was gonna
it
ask
was like
that.
$100.
I was gonna ask, what do you have for a
Yeah,
bike?
it's not the best. I I couldn't even
Is
tell you.
it?
It's just a regular. It's like it's a men's bike, so it could be like just the way that it's set up. I wasn't gonna go out and get like $1,000 bike if I didn't like the
Sure. Yeah.
triathlon. So if I keep doing them, I will go out and buy myself a very,
You should
expensive,
get fitted.
like one I could lift with one
Yeah.
finger.
No, if you go
So
big, you should, and do a lot more. You should get a bike that's fitted for you. There's a few places locally, like
yeah,
one down in Mass near Peabody. That's what I did. I got fitted for a bike. You could also go to a shop like a Good Dale's or a
yeah,
Butchka's or somewhere, and they have knowledgeable people with bikes that can get you on a bike your size. But it's a road bike though that you got, right? Like
yes.
thin wheels.
Maybe they'll just give me a kid's bike, Eric. Just because I'm
Well,
short, they'll
yeah,
just give me like a kid's bike. I
maybe
was waiting for that joke.
that's really what you should have done. You should have gotten a kid's bike. Yeah, and then you can give it to Jackson in 2 years.
I know, training wheels and everything. Be good to go.
Right. So, I watched the video because you did your first brick. So your bike is very basic. You just had on normal sneakers on the bike. You didn't have like the clip-in shoes.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun. I want to be in there. I want to be there the first time you get a bike with clip-in shoes. I want to watch.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
want to watch you.
So I was just watching all of because there was a Ironman in Europe, and so I was watching a lot of triathlon stuff comes up on my Instagram now, and I know we were just chatting about that, but so I was watching
not
them, and
dudes
they
with
were running
six-packs?
from.
That's just me.
It wasn't because they had their swimsuits on, but if they wanted to take those off, I'll look at the six packs. They got out of the water, but they were running up
That's
the
not me.
ramp to their bike where their bike was stationed,
Yes.
and they were barefoot, and then their shoes were already clipped in their bike, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, these guys.
So like that's the only thing I'm a little nervous about is the transition pieces of it. I think you and I have chatted about this just in general.
Yeah.
But just the transition pieces, and then I didn't know, and I just talked to a really good friend of mine on Instagram, and she's done triathlons in the past, and I didn't realize there were so many rules with triathlons, and like you can't pass another biker unless you're going to go faster than them, like all of this stuff, and I was like, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about any of those rules. I wouldn't.
Okay.
No, I mean, if you're getting competitive and you're like Scott, like, sure, there's no drafting in triathlon. You can't draft. And so they got these rules where if you're going to pass someone, you need to pull out a line and you got like 25 seconds to pass. I don't even worry about them because you know what? If I'm not trying to qualify, I'm not trying to win the race.
Right.
But if a guy in a full Ironman, if I got a penalty, I'm going to take the 5-minute penalty as a chance to recover. And like, you know, that's what I would do. But Scott's gotten penalized before for drafting or for not passing correctly or something like that. I wouldn't worry about the rules. Those guys who already have their shoes clipped into the bike and their bare feet, like they're the pros and it's super cool to see. I'll never do it. I'm not like they're fighting for seconds there.
Oh yeah, I'm not interested in that right
I'm
now.
putting socks on my feet before I throw my feet into my running shoes. You know what I mean? I probably will take a few. I'll probably be a minute. I'll probably be a full minute longer taking my time to run in comfort and bike in comfort with socks. Then these guys are pros. It's what they do. Every second matters.
Yeah.
So,
right. Nope. I totally get it.
have you gone swimming outside yet?
I've not done an open water swim, and I'm very nervous about it.
Do you have a wetsuit?
I don't. So I've talked to a lot of people. A lot of runners in the Greater Manchester Running Club have done triathlon, so I've really chatted with a lot of the women that have done them, and they've given me a lot of recommendations for triathlon suits for myself. So I'm looking online. I think I found a couple on Amazon. Like I said, I don't want to spend a ton of money. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with it so far, and I think I'll enjoy it. But I don't want to spend a ton of money if it's something I'm not going to continue with.
You want to wear. So this is one thing you would want to do, but you wear whatever you're going to wear biking and running. You put on first, then you'll put your wetsuit on over that. So they call it a kit. You'll wear your kit, and then you put the wetsuit over. I'll give you a little wetsuit tip to help you float a little more.
Okay.
Fart in your wetsuit. It'll help you float. It's like a little bubble, and it brings you up, and you float. And not to mention, it will warm you up. You pee in the wetsuit, you'll be warm too.
It's going to be July 29th. I think I'm going to be plenty warm. It's going to be the middle of freaking summer.
Yeah, but it's also up north. It's in Wolfboro. Is it in Lake Winnipesaukee or it's in one of the little lakes next to it?
I think it's in Lake Winnie.
Okay. Yeah, it's the Wolf. So it's July 29th. It's the day before my sunrise ascent. So I'm gonna try to. I've told you I'm gonna be there, but I'm gonna try to get there early enough to at least see you at part of it. On my drive up north for the hike, I have the big hike the next day. I'm going to talk about more on the pod later or another episode. And the day after that, I think we're going to hike the Prezzies. So I actually mentioned in the most recent episode, but it was with the interview with Jenny, that I'm going to try to hike the Prezzies. I already had two people reach out to me and say, I want to hike the Prezzies with you. And I'm like, that's kind of cool that the podcast has that reach and that we're getting there. So I'm jacked up for your triathlon. You're going to be fine. You're right. Zero pressure. You have no pressure. It's just two things. One, finish. Two, don't drown. And it really should be one, don't drown, but you'll be fine. Yeah,
I liked the brick. I did my first brick workout yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. I biked for 30 minutes and then I was supposed to run for 15, but I got so close to 2 miles, I just kept going. So it was 17 minutes. But the minute I was done with the bike, my legs were like jello. And then I started to run. And then I was like,
Right.
holy shit, this is
Yeah.
wild. Um, but I loved it. Like I was so happy when I was running. I was like, this is great. Like I'm doing this. There was no pressure. I was just running and having fun. I smiled the whole time. And I was like, I'm going to do this. This is going to be so much fun. Like I'm really, really, really excited to just do something so different and just take this kind of like leap of faith and risk just to say like, this is great. And I hope I really like it because if I do, I want to try the Olympic distance and just keep going. But I literally thought as I got off the bike that there are people who do this. Like you've done it. And I thought of you when I was doing it. And I was like, he did 112 on the bike and then 26 miles. How the fuck do you do that?
And I ran like a 5-hour marathon, like a 5:20.
Hey, that's amazing though. After all that, and you still ran a 5-hour
Yeah.
marathon. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
I still want.
And then I didn't realize like people are trying to hide snacks in their
Oh, yeah.
suits.
Well,
I'm like watching all these videos, and I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah.
this
No,
is wild.
it's super
It's a whole
cool.
new world.
It is a whole
Yeah.
new world. And I want to do
Yeah.
more. So I'm doing mine about a month after you. I'm doing the Olympic distance.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's going to be in Lake Ossipee. I think it's Lake Ossipee.
Okay.
And it's the end of
Yep.
the end of August. So I'm doing the Olympic distance, and I actually did a brick workout the other day on my own too. I was on the Peloton, and I
Oh.
got off the Peloton and just went for a mile run outside. So
Is there a sprint? Is there a sprint
yes,
for yours in
yep,
August?
it's okay. So
Hmm.
the one you're doing, it seems to be a company that hosts 3 triathlons in the Lakes regions. They host the Wolf. They host another
Yep.
one that just happened the other day. I can't think of the name, but it was 2 days ago. It was on the 3rd. And then they host the one I'm doing, the Live
Okay.
Free or Try. It's called Live Free or Try.
Oh, Live Free or Try. Okay, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
So the website where you signed up on is also the same website I signed up on. It's like, I don't remember, New Hampshire Try. I'll actually find it and I'll link it in the show notes. But
Okay.
so it's like 5 weeks after yours. And that's the one I signed up for because the Wolf was the date didn't really work out for me to get there the day before and all that. Yeah, you're going to have to be there on Friday, I think, right? You got to go up there the day before and set up, or are you going to be able to do that in the morning?
I don't know. I have to look at it.
It's like over an hour drive for you. So what do you think you're going to stay up there?
I have a bunch of friends who I used to be a dispatcher for Marine Patrol. So I have a ton of friends who are up there. So I'm going to stay with some friends up there. And Justine's going to come and Jay's going to come. So I don't know if they're going to come up the night before with me or come up the morning of. We haven't really kind of talked about logistics, but I'm going to stay with one of my friends up there. So I'm already up
Nice.
there.
Nice. Yeah.
That would be too stressful for me trying to drive up there in the morning and
Get up there Friday.
get everything up there.
Get up there the day before.
Yeah.
Get your bib and all that stuff. You know, one thing you have to
Oh,
buy?
I'm
I'm going to buy you a gift. I'm going to send you something. I'll
Oh.
talk about it later. You can
okay.
make a reel or whatever with you accepting it. I know what I'm going to buy you. But there is something else you should buy.
Okay.
It's called a bib belt or just a triathlon belt. And
Yep.
you put your bib on it. You could probably use it for your marathons too. Heck, I'll just give you mine actually. And so because you don't wear your bib while you're biking,
Oh, it's for the run only.
right? It's for the run only. So you're not going to wear it, but you're also not going to pin it to yourself. So you get a belt. In the
Right.
belt, you can fit gels and stuff in, but it also holds your bib. And so when you throw your shoes on, you just grab.
Oh, cool.
You have everything set up before. You just grab the belt and you buckle it, and you go. You already have your gels in it and everything ready to go. So transitions really, you got to just like kind of plan out. You kind of got to practice at home. When you do a brick, set it up the way you want and kind of have everything laid out and do it and then be like, oh, I didn't do that the way I wanted. Try a different way or try it again.
Yeah.
Baby powder, bring baby powder and throw it all over your feet right after you get out of the water before you put your socks on, or else it's going to be a pain in the ass. And you know they have strippers there, right?
What?
Yeah, they have strippers. They're called wetsuit strippers. You get out of the water and you reach back, you try to pull the zipper down on the back of your wetsuit, and you get you get your arms out, and then you sit down on your butt, like if you're doing a canoe rocker thing they call for the ab workout, what are those called?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the two people will each grab a side of your wetsuit and they whip it off, and they're called wetsuit strippers.
You just had every male listener just so excited to do a triathlon right there, just because you said
They
there's
have
strippers
strippers.
there. They're like, sign
There's
me
a
up.
sign.
I'm there.
Usually, the one in Nashua had a sign that just said "strippers here." So I know some races
God.
don't, because we had a guest on a while ago, Josh, and speaking of him, I gotta bring that up. But he said in his race there were no strippers at my race, and I'm like, oh, that's too bad.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So speaking of Josh, and we'll tidy things up here. We tried to do this thing called OTR Live. I talked about it. OTR on the runs, of course. I talked about it a while ago. We did one with Denise, and the concept or the idea with OTR Live is like, when you do your triathlon, I want to go live with you on Instagram and talk about it for 20 minutes or so. So we have a guest from all the way back in like episode 12. He just did his first Ironman back in April, a half Ironman, 70.3, not a big deal. And we're going to have him on. I'm thinking right now we're looking at Thursday. So if you're listening now, Thursday, probably around 8:30, 9 p.m. It's late, but we have kids. They got to go to bed. We're going to go live. And then a week or two later, we'll drop that on our RSS feed for everyone to listen to. But we're going to try to do more of those every other week. We have a guest coming up who is also running in, this is a bucket list race for me, the Mount Washington Auto Road Race.
Oh, nice.
And so we have her coming on, and then after the race, we figured, let's do it. So we're going to do the next one with her. And I don't know if OTR Live will survive on Instagram, because we're going to go YouTube soon.
I think it sounds a little like TRL Live, like, like Total Request Live. TRL. That was my instant thought.
Yeah.
You get
So
some old school MTV
we're
vibes.
the same age. You would go home. Would you go home and dial up AOL to vote for one song to get one vote and like try to get your song on?
Yes, but that one song lasted like 30 seconds. It was ridiculous. Right. I'm like, I just want to hear Britney Spears' Baby one more time. And they're like, yeah, here's 10 seconds of it. We're going to go now into Limp Bizkit. I'm like, I love Limp Bizkit, but want to hear all of the songs. And it was just
Limp Bizkit was the one I would always vote for. And I remember the day, and you can find this on YouTube. For one day, Limp Bizkit beat NSYNC. Or it might have been Britney. I'm pretty sure it was NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. For one day, we beat them. And it was like epic. And Carson Daly, TRL, Total Request Live. You're right. Yep. If they did top 10, at least two of the songs would be 10 seconds long. Two of the songs. The other ones would be really short, and maybe you would get one long song. One.
Maybe like there was probably like Blink 182.
Oh, they're awesome too. I love Blink 182.
They are.
Oh, I would totally go and see Blink 182 in concert if they came by.
I 100% would. And I would go see Limp Bizkit. Fred Durst was like so hot when I was young. It was great. Eminem. I'm a huge Eminem fan. So like I would have loved. I remember like the Real Slim Shady was huge.
I liked Eminem. I wouldn't put Fred Durst in the hot category, but
he used to be. When you're young and he's a bad boy and he's got the backwards like red cap and the white t-shirt.
Didn't he and Carson Daly?
That's up my alley as a
Didn't he and Carson Daly like have a battle over Christina Aguilera? I can't pronounce it. Like They both loved her, but they were both fighting. And Eminem did a song that had Christina as like a blow-up doll or whatever, and they had two people dressed as Carson Daly and Fred Durst.
That's the Real Slim Shady
Yeah, they're
song.
fighting over Christina Aguilera. Yeah. That's.
Here it says hear him argue over who she gave head to first. That's what it is. That's the line.
Carson Daly is now on a morning show like today. I think he's on the Today Show. And I'm kind of like, I saw it recently and I'm like, oh, cool. He's on the Today Show. He's kind of like the big host of it. Like they'll have people talking and then he'll go, and now our next story is going to be about Nicole Bryant in her first triathlon after the mishap she had in the water. And he's like all of us, we've all aged. He was probably our age around that time. He was probably mid-30s.
Yeah. That was a big deal for that show. Like the guests would come on and they'd look out the window and all the people in New York City. And
I remember when the Osbourne family was on. Did you watch the Osbournes?
Oh my God.
Kelly was like,
I watched that show.
Kelly was like, it's so hard for me right now not to swear on live TV.
It would be hard for me probably too.
Yeah. No, TRL. Look, I don't remember when it came to an end, but it eventually came to an end. Like I went to college in it wasn't really. I even think in middle school is really its prime for me. I think it was middle school.
Yeah.
So
Same. Yep.
yeah, don't really know how far that went or if it ended or if even anyone else hosted. So MTV, TRL, OTR Live, how did that all come together? So I mentioned YouTube though. I'm working on getting a YouTube so I've been editing some episodes on video. I'm going to edit the one everyone just heard soon, and I'm thinking early August I'm going to drop a bunch of episodes on YouTube. We're going to have a YouTube channel. And going forward, some of our episodes, or hopefully all of them, the interview portion will be on there. And what's cool is what you and I are talking on right now, I can live stream on YouTube. So our OTR lives would then become YouTube lives. So that's the thought. Hey, what are you doing on June 24th? It's a Saturday morning. You probably have Jackson, but that's cool.
So I do know it's the Gallup race. I have his birthday party that day.
So you can fit it in?
So it's at 10
you
a.m.
can fit it in.
So
well, I wanted to tell...
His dad would love that. I wanted to run it so badly because we keep sharing on the Greater Manchester Running Club Facebook page. And I'm in contact with the race director like daily. So I really, really, really want to run it. I would love to try to. I think it's a 5K, right?
It's a 5.2 mile run.
5 miles. And it's in Goffstown, so I could potentially
run it. So it's at 8:30 at the rec center, and I just wanted to pump the tires for it real quick. It's Erika's favorite race. I'm going to be there. I already signed up, and hopefully I know a few others will be there. I know Lindsay's going to be there. I know Tara would be there, and she's recovering from back surgery. But Tara, if you're listening, if you put your back into it, you can do it. Is that how the song goes? You can do it, put your back into it. Tara, you can do it, put your back.
I think you were cute.
No, I know there's going to be some cool people there, and we're going to be there, and maybe Nicole's going to be there if she can fit in a birthday. So if we can get everything done for the birthday party the night before.
If I'm like the most organized person, so I'm going to have everything ready the night before anyway. And Jackson will be with his dad the night before. So I might be able to just like put everything in my car, bring myself there, bring wipes and change, and then go to the birthday and be done. So
I'll tell you, you can sign up the day of the race. I learned this last year. They do not take cards.
Okay.
Cash or check. I paid for a few people last year and they Venmo'd me back because they only had cards. So that was a fun story. And that's how we met Mike Beeman, because I paid for his friends. So yeah, no, that would be fun. Just run wicked fast. And we'll get a group photo this time. Yeah, I think, Mr. 305 is going to be there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's going to be there. So, but that was awesome.
Cool.
So everyone come check out the Goffstown Gallup. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. I'm going to keep saying that now because I am posting them on TikTok. I'm trying to grow the channel. My biggest fan right now is Tara Watt. And Ron Kuszmar.
I was going to say, I'm sure Ron Kuszmar is one of
We're on Patreon. If you guys love us and want to support us, you can on Patreon, patreon.com/ontheruns. And shoot us an email if you want, like some of you have, about coming on or just sharing stories or articles on the runspod@gmail.com. So, hey, thanks so much for coming on. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
again.
So I don't know when Erika's next vacation is, but at this rate, she's taking 4 a year. So I'm taking one in July. I'm going to be gone for the July 4th weekend, or the entire week. So I already planned what the pod's going to do, but I don't think Erika is ready to do a whole episode on her own. So I got some fun content coming up that week. There'll be 2 drops, actually. So you guys won't be left with nothing for a whole week. There'll be plenty for you to do.
We appreciate that.
So thanks again, everyone, for listening. The last 2 episodes really took off. Sorry, Nicole, they blew yours out of the water.
Damn it.
I know. I was like, at the time you were doing really good, but it was good. It was good for us and good for the growth. So
that was great for you.
Guys, thanks for listening. Nicole, thanks for coming on. And if Erika were here, she would say,
don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1.
We did have this conversation actually at the start line of Providence, and I told Ron about the comedy skit you sent me, which basically accuses Apple users of being racist because of the green text messages because they're a different color. It is hilarious, but I'm like, there's no way I would ever. And we were actually saying, like, you know, if you're an Android user, you're that one person in a group text that is the green person, and we're all like, oh, and then somebody has to like the message, and then it tells you, it's like, oh, Eric liked this message, and then it just ruins it.
So now your text message is 8,000
Correct.
messages long because every like is a
Yes.
new message.
You know what?
Just
You know
a
what?
Like.
What this guy says is just right.
Apparently that's bad. Anyone else here got an Android? Just me? Yeah? You got an Android? Dog, we the most discriminated group in America. If you have an iPhone, you racist and you know it. Prejudiced pieces of shit. Y'all just freak the fuck out. Every time I go in a group chat, y'all act like we're trying to integrate an all-white school. You freak the fuck out. You act like we lowered the property value of shit. Like, all because of the color of our text? That's literally discrimination. Like, I get discriminated more for having an Android than for being black. It's true.
Oh my God.
If I got shot by the cops because I thought my phone was a gun, you would be upset. But if you found out it was an Android, you'd be like, well, you're gonna work for that guy. Apparently that's bad.
I'm crying. Oh my God.
boy.
I just thought that was, I watched it so many times. It's so funny.
That's funny. That is pretty good.